LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades.
A motorcycle seems pretty simple. It has one engine, 2 wheels, and plenty of attitude. But you crash one of these babies, and things get complicated quick. That's when you need to call these guys.
At Dudley DeBosier, we keep it simple. When the insurance company tries to pay you less, we fight to get you more.
No hassle, no confusing legal terms, and no fee unless we get money for you.
Keep it simple. Call Dudley DeBosier. Motorcycle crash? Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
Welcome to another great edition of LA Rider, Louisiana's only television program exclusively dedicated to motorcycle travel, lifestyles, and adventure. I'm T.W. Robinson, and we're so glad you're joining us today. This week, we take my new Street Glide on its maiden voyage of the Natchez Trace to Nashville. And during the ride, I finally decide on a name for my beautiful new steel pony. And we head to Osaka, Mississippi for burgers and check out a brand new addition to the Leonard Skinner Memorial in Gillsburg. All this coming up on this edition of LA Rider. So kickstands up, everyone. Let's take a ride. Welcome, everyone. Well, as most of you know, I finally got a new bike, and earlier this month, I took it on its very first road trip, a ride up the Natchez Trace to Nashville. For me, there is really no better place to check out a new motorcycle, and the ride could not have been more beautiful. I've put a lot of miles on Red Rider, my trusted 2013 Street Glide, and she has never let me down or left me stranded. But after 10 years of serving as my primary ride on LA Rider, it was time for a few upgrades. Most importantly, a little more power and ABS braking. I'm a little nervous and a little sad, but it's gonna be all good, I'm sure. Love my Red Rider. After a little shopping around, I found the perfect replacement on the Used Bikes Direct website, a 2022 Street Glide Special with only 1,000 miles on the odometer and the perfect shade of red. After a few days at Law Enforcement Motorcycle Specialties, installing highway bars, foot pegs, and a few other accessories and tweaks, Josh Velour had my new ride fitting me like a glove, just in time for her maiden voyage up the Natchez Trace. Well, it's been a long time since I've been on the Natchez Trace, and since I got a new bike, which I'm going to reveal the name later, as I ride up the Natchez Trace on her maiden voyage, one of my favorite rides in the world. The Natchez Trace is a great place to get comfortable with a new ride. The speed limit is low, there are no big trucks or commercial traffic, and it is beautiful to boot. Plus, Chrome Cowgirl Tammy Arnder is at the other end in Nashville. That always means there will be lots of fun things to do when we get there. Executive producer Bob Courtney also picked up a 2023 freewheeler from Warhawk Harley-Davidson in Monroe, and our friend Mike Garbus from Satellite Beach, Florida rode it, while Bob shot video from his Indian. The plan was for Mike and Bob to swap out from time to time, but Mike liked the trike so much, Bob barely got a chance to ride it. The Trace is one of North America's oldest roads, originally used by Native Americans like the Choctaw, Natchez, and Chickasaw. In the late 18th century, European settlers adopted the Trace as a primary trade route between the Ohio River Valley and the Mississippi River. And in 1938, the Natchez Trace Parkway was established. The final segments of the 444-mile two-lane blacktop were completed in 2005. The modern parkway closely follows the original path of the Trace from Natchez to Nashville. There are many historic sites along the way, including several Indian mounds that date back more than 2,000 years. There are also places where the original road is preserved and can be viewed. But more than anything, it is a stunning ride through the countryside. Although parts of the Trace pass near or even through metropolitan areas, you would never know it. Well, it's a beautiful day for a ride on the Trace. It's so peaceful out here, and we've made it to the Alabama state line and only 150 miles to go to Nashville. With light traffic, no big trucks, and few crossroads and intersections, the Trace makes for a pleasant and stress-free motorcycle ride. The perfect place to enjoy the beauty of nature and get what I like to call helmet time. In fact, it was the perfect time for me to make a big decision. Just what in the world was I going to name my new steel pony? We endured a pretty brutal heat wave this summer, especially in South Louisiana. In fact, many days it was just too hot to ride. But that was definitely not the case on the first day of October as we began our 2023 Natchez Trace ride. Fall was finally in the air. What a welcome relief. Now, even on the hottest days of the year, the Natchez Trace is naturally cooler since it cuts through beautiful pine and hardwood forests, farmlands, and meadows. But with outside temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s, at times the shady spots could be almost chilly, a sensation I hadn't experienced since early spring. Riding the Trace is always a wonderful experience, but with weather like this, it really couldn't be any better. Time to kick back, chill out, and enjoy the ride. During rides like this, I do my best thinking. And right now, there was really only one thing on my mind, and that was just how much I was loving my new bike and how badly she needed a name. Facebook friends and viewers were helping with suggestions, and quite frankly, they were all good. Names like Blaze, Redline, Ruby, Crimson Cruiser, Cherry, and many, many more. In all, there were more than 77 names suggested, but only one really fit. Just outside of Nashville at the old Gordon House, I finally came to a decision. Well, I've given it a lot of thought, and the name that speaks to me for so many reasons is Scarlet. not only because that's a color of red, but because one of the reasons is Gone with the Wind was the first movie I ever went to see in a movie theater. And I just love Scarlett O'Hara. And we have a lot in common. We're both Southern. We both have Irish blood in us. And one of her famous lines is "so me," I'm told. And that line would be, "I can't think about it today. If I do, I'll go crazy. I'll think about it tomorrow."
Lions are hungry for you.
Oh, Rick, don't leave me, don't.
Not afraid.
Oh, and one other thing Scarlett O'Hara and I have in common. We both love the color red. Wow, I sure would like to get my hands on that dress. But I can't think about that right now. If I do, I'll go crazy. I'll just think about it tomorrow on the ride home. After all, tomorrow is another day. Right, Scarlett?
Motocross? We've got it at Gian Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you number one at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at Gian Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at Gian Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to Gian Gonzalez. Becoming number one starts here. We're waiting for you!
Want a high-quality used motorcycle delivered to your door with a money-back guarantee? At usedbikesdirect.com, you can choose from hundreds of high-quality American, Japanese, and European motorcycles. Just browse our website, pick your bike, get your financing, and arrange your trade-in, all from the comfort of your home. And we'll deliver it straight to your door for free, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Buying a used motorcycle has never been easier or safer. Just go to usedbikesdirect.com and start shopping.
For more than 40 years, Robert Rad Leonard has provided South Louisiana motorcyclists with all their needs, from a showroom jam-packed with all the latest gear to a full-service shop featuring skilled technicians who handle everything from routine service to complete engine rebuilds. Rad Cycles also carries a huge selection of pre-owned models and has the area's largest inventory of used bike parts. For all your riding needs, do what South Louisiana motorcyclists have been doing since 1978. Go Rad. Rad Cycles. They're rider recommended.
For the best in restorative and cosmetic dental care, choose Dr. Jason Hutto. Your smile is important, and so is your overall oral health. And at the dental office of Jason Hutto, our aim is to provide the highest quality dental care. From implants and cosmetic procedures to fillings, root canals, and cleaning, choose Dr. Jason Hutto.
Hi, I'm Jason Hutto. Call for your appointment today.
But not on Fridays. That's the day we ride.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us. See us. Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
Save us.
Nearly two-thirds of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by distracted and inattentive drivers. Please, watch for motorcycles. Looking for a trailer? Check out Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. At Mike's two Baton Rouge locations, you'll find a huge inventory of high-quality motorcycle trailers, boat trailers, cargo trailers, utility trailers, and custom-built trailers. Plus, the largest inventory of trailer parts and accessories in the area. Can't find that perfect trailer? Let Mike build one for you. Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. Two locations in Baton Rouge to serve you. They're rider recommended.
Welcome back to LA Rider. I'm Tammy Arender, coming to you from Warhol Harley-Davidson here in Monroe, Louisiana. And you know, one of the things I love about coming home, especially this time of year, is there's always a festival. As a matter of fact, I think Louisiana has more festivals in a year than any other state. And one that I've never been to is the Louisiana Art and Folk Festival in Columbia, even though I was raised right here in Northeast Louisiana. So I decided what better thing to do through on a perfect fall day, then head down to Caldwell Parish. Let's go. So here at Warhawk Harley-Davidson, I'm one of the first people out of the parking lot on this perfect fall day. And thanks to Dale Condra and his team at Warhawk Harley, I have the perfect ride as well. So I head south of Monroe on Highway 165. It's only about a 30 or 40 minute trip that follows the curves of the Washita River and some fertile farmland, although most of it harvested now. My favorite part is crossing that bridge over the Washita that drops you off in downtown Columbia. This is the 66th annual Art and Folk Festival. Everything from bakers to candle and candy makers. This area is known for its cotton, but today it's all about cotton candy. And even though it's fall, it's still a bit toasty. So a snowball hits the spot.
I got a wedding cake, snow cone.
My sister and I can't stop ourselves from enjoying some of this New Orleans-style shaved ice. And I know it looks vanilla and no color, but guess what? This is awesome. And it's not my wedding day, as you know, but always a good day to have a wedding cake, even if it's shaved ice. Oh, this is amazing. There are local artists, fabulous food, and music. How's this for a musical act? Miriam Bennett holds court with her harp here in the heart of Main Street. She's somewhat of a musical prodigy and can play several instruments, but fell in love with this instrument on a trip overseas with her parents.
When I was 5 years old, me and my family went to Ireland, and we went to some castle, and I saw a harpist play there, and I immediately fell in love with it. It was love at first sight.
When they go home, what do you want them to walk away with?
I want them to walk away with joy and happiness and stuff like that. I love spreading joy.
Just steps away from the Heavenly Harp is the Antique Car Show, an incredible display of vintage vehicles. Truly a walk back in time or memory lane for these folks.
It's old meets new, basically. There's demonstrations of things and how they did things, you know, I would say 50 years ago, but now it's probably 60 or 70 years ago. New products, different things, handmade, all kind of artisanal stuff, good food, just a good community event that everybody can enjoy.
While Mitch literally only had to drive a few miles to get here, Robert Shaw and his wife came from across the pond. And I'm not talking about the nearby Washita River. I'm talking about the pond.
I'm from a town called Halifax in the north of England.
And I learned that he's quite a world traveler, and he often sees the world on two wheels.
I've got a BMW RT 1250, and the young lady to your left and I ride all over the place on it. And yeah, I enjoy motorcycling. So much so that in December of last year, we went on a tour of Nepal on Royal Enfields, and we're going to India in January.
I know the Shaws will have some great stories to tell the folks when they get back home in England. And as I hit the road, headed back to Monroe, I know I've got some precious memories as cargo as well. Some big fun in a small town, I've got to tell you. And so all of my South Louisiana friends, you have got to make a trip to Northeast Louisiana for the Art and Folk Festival next year. They always hold it the second Saturday in October. I'm Tammy Arender for LA Rider. Back with more in just a moment.
Want a high-quality used motorcycle delivered to your door with a money-back guarantee? At usedbikesdirect.com, you can choose from hundreds of high-quality American, Japanese, and European motorcycles. Just browse our website, pick your bike, get your financing, and arrange your trade-in, all from the comfort of your home. And we'll deliver it straight to your door for free, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Buying a used motorcycle has never been easier or safer. Just go to usedbikesdirect.com and start shopping.
Motocross? We've got it at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you #1 at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at G & Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to G & Gonzalez. Becoming #1 starts here.
We're waiting for you!
Support motorcycle safety and encourage other drivers to watch for motorcycles. Purchase a motorcycle awareness specialty plate for your car, truck, or motorcycle. For an additional $25 a year, you can help the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign promote safety, awareness, and training programs throughout Louisiana.
I'm T.W. Robinson. No matter what you ride, put a MAC plate on it and help support motorcycle awareness wherever you go.
For more than 40 years, Robert Rad Leonard has provided South Louisiana motorcyclists with all their needs, from a showroom jam-packed with all the latest gear to a full-service shop featuring skilled technicians who handle everything from routine service to complete engine rebuilds. Rad Cycles also carries a huge selection of pre-owned models and has the area's largest inventory of used bike parts. For all your riding needs, do what South Louisiana motorcyclists have been doing since 1978. Go Rad. Rad Cycles. They're rider recommended.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
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 Watch for us.
Save us.
Looking for a trailer? Check out Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. At Mike's 2 Baton Rouge locations, you'll find a huge inventory of high-quality motorcycle trailers, boat trailers, cargo trailers, utility trailers, and custom-built trailers. Plus, the largest inventory of trailer parts and accessories in the area. Can't find that perfect trailer? Let Mike build one for you. Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. 2 locations in Baton Rouge to serve you. They're rider recommended.
As you've probably figured out by now, we are at the Leonard Skinner Monument here in Gillsburg, Mississippi. We were here 4 years ago when the monument was unveiled, and we have returned many times. This week, a special addition to the memorial was unveiled. This separate granite monument honors band leader and founder Ronnie Van Zant, who along with 5 others died 46 years ago in the tragic plane crash that took place just a few hundred yards from this site. Since the Leonard Skinner original memorial opened here in 2019, it has become quite a tourist destination for fans and devotees of the historic Southern rock band. In fact, it is a regular destination for many riding groups and car clubs. If you're planning a ride to the monument, consider grabbing lunch in nearby Osaka, Mississippi at the Burger Basket. If you like burgers, you'll love the Burger Basket. It's just a short ride from the Leonard Skinner Monument to the Burger Basket, located just north of the Louisiana border in the town of Osaka. For more than 30 years, the Burger Basket has been feeding locals, tourists, and at least one pretty big celebrity. Mega pop star Britney Spears, who hails from Kentwood, Louisiana, just a few miles south, was a regular here when the place was known as Nyla's Burger Basket. In fact, Spears liked the place so much that when she opened a huge bistro in New York several years back, she called it Nyla in honor of Nyla Price, original owner of the Burger Basket. Well, the name of the place is now just the Burger Basket, but the food is still famously good. And while they have lots of other great things on the menu besides burgers and sandwiches, I just had to order the biggest, baddest hamburger with a side of homemade fried onion rings, of course. Well, I'm going with your suggestion on the double meat cheeseburger.
Bacon cheeseburger.
You think I should have the bacon? Okay.
You want a dress, lettuce, potatoes,
Oh, I want it all.
onions, pickles?
Oh, I want it all.
You want to add mustard and ketchup?
Sure. What else you got in the kitchen? That looks delicious. Oh my gosh. Now how delicious does that look?
Is there anything else that I can get you?
I don't think I need a thing.
All right, baby, y'all enjoy.
All right, thank you. Oh my gosh, let me try one of these onion rings before I dive into the burger. Those are homemade. Oh my God. You can tell right off. Those are delicious. I'm sure I can do this, but I'm going right here for this big piece of bacon. This is a winner. It's so juicy. Oh my God. Yep. The burger basket is the real thing.
Whether you're looking for a thick, juicy burger like mine, or one of the many other items on the menu, including seafood, chicken, and even steak, the burger basket is well worth the trip. And while you might not run into Britney Spears, you'll meet a lot of happy, satisfied customers.
Check out the burger basket and spend some time at the Leonard Skinner Monument. It makes for a great day ride or weekend destination. Until then, I'm T.W. Robinson. I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list. Scarlett and I will see you again next week for another great edition of LA Rider.
LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades. Dudley DeBosier, official injury lawyers for the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign.
When you get on a bike, you got to watch out for gravel, potholes, and knucklehead drivers.
But after a crash, here's what you got to watch out for. Insurance adjusters. They can be tough on injured bikers.
They may try to pin the blame on you or pay less than you deserve.
So if you've been injured, here's what you should do.
Call the lawyers who look out for bikers. That's Dudley DeBosier. Motorcycle crash? Demand different. Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
God bless chrome cowgirls like us.